Hi everyone, it is Monday again, the 12th of July, and just a few words from me in Santiago again. It has been kind of strange weather in Spain these last few weeks, especially this last week. It's been very, very warm in the south, 44, 45 degrees, many places. But in Galicia, it has stayed pretty cold. I think it's the only area in Spain that has had livable temperatures. It's been very, very warm everywhere else. So for once, I'm not hoping for warmer weather. Actually, it's pretty nice these days. Now, pilgrim-wise, let me see if I could get that up. Yesterday, 1,171 pilgrims got their Compostelas. So that was Sunday. That's a lot. And I have another article that I saw says that on Friday, 1,540 people got their Compostela. On Saturday, 1,626. So 3,000 people Friday and Saturday, plus the 1,100 on Sunday. That's 4,000 and some for the 3 days. It means things are moving, and you could definitely see that in the town as well. I was away for the weekend, but we were here on Friday, and Friday I think it's the most people I've seen in Santiago since the whole pandemic thing started, because it was packed in a good way, as you'll see. We'll get to the virus situation. That's not so great, but at least people are I think pilgrims are coming back and walking. And I think the increases in viruses probably I don't think it has anything to do with people coming to Spain, and people are not like bringing the virus to Spain and making it worse. I think what's happening with the virus, it's something else. It's the youth that haven't been vaccinated yet. So this is the Pais from today. Average daily infections in Spain is 14,761, which compared to 2 weeks ago is up 312%. So that's not good. That's of course on a global population level. In Madrid, 208 on a daily basis. That was, I guess, the numbers are from yesterday. That's up 200%. Castilla y León, which is where the Camino Frances goes through, 490 on a daily basis now, which is up 1,147% since 2 weeks ago. So you could see things are moving up. Catalonia as well, Cantabria as well. So there are many places in Spain now that have a peak of infections, but they're mainly among the youth, the people under 30. And those are the ones that haven't been vaccinated yet, because in Spain we have been vaccinating by age. So first was over 80, then 70 to 80, they're all done. 60 to 70 are all done. 50 to 60 are pretty much all done. 40 to 50, I think they're working on that. At least in Galicia, they're working on that now. That's the biggest chunk of the population. And then 30 to 40 is the next section of the population that they're going to vaccinate. On Saturday, over 10,000 people got the vaccine in Santiago. So they're vaccinating at a high rate. We just haven't gotten to all of them yet. And you could see here on the graph, this is on a national level. The number of new infections are going up quite sharply, and people are calling this now the fifth wave. Now, you could see the number of people getting into hospital is slightly ticking up, but it's very slowly. Of course, from you are affected to you go to hospital, there's a lag there. So that may be the reason why the number of deaths are still kind of ticking down. But I think it's not going to be as horrible, these new cases on the number of people, the effect the number of people being put in hospital and also dying, because of course the younger people can fend off this easier than the older ones. Now, it's been a while since we looked at this map, but this is the map of Spain in the various regions, and you can see the number of cases on a population level of all ages, of course. This is the number of infections per 100,000 inhabitants over the last 14 days. So this is from the 7th. This is like 5 days ago. 112 Galicia, Castilla y León 343. So these numbers they're not zero, so it's not horrible, but it's not great, but it's not. We've been lots worse. What else? This is of course Europe. So I know Germany, I think, told their citizens to try and avoid Spain based on these numbers. I could see Spain have some sections of red. Galicia up here is orange. And I can understand why, but I think this fifth wave is a little bit different from the other waves. And it's because of who is getting infected. This is actually Galicia, and you can see it's going up quite sharply. We have over 5,000 active cases of COVID right now. 630 yesterday or today. They say today, but I think they mean it was reported today, but it was actually cases from yesterday. So you could see the cases are going up, but the hospitalization and the people in the intensive care are it's not going up that much at all. So I'm hoping that since this big spike in new cases are just a small segment of the population and the new infections are mostly happening, I think, personal opinion, young people, they're just finished their term at the university, they go out, there's a lot of partying. We've seen a lot of pictures from Barcelona, from the beaches there. And what they've done I think in Barcelona yesterday was reported that they have closed the nightlife. They have closed off the beaches. So they have taken care of that part. And I think a lot of other places in in Spain as well in the regions have decided to limit the amount of partying that can happen during nighttime. So hopefully that should take care of this, and hopefully I'm hoping that since it's a smaller group of the population that are getting infected now, that we could faster take care of it. So that's that. I did take a couple of videos this week. I was going home from the grocery store on, I think it was Thursday, past the Plaza Quintana. As you can see, we have good weather. People were out, and there's a queue at the Holy Door. You see the Holy Door there? That's people are queuing up to get in. So that's good to see. It reminds me of the earlier Holy Years we had, when the queue was, of course, much longer. But still, I also saw a thing in the paper the other day about there was some restrictions. Of course, there's three Pilgrims masses every day in the cathedral, but the seating is limited due to COVID. I think it was said 200 per service, and of course with the numbers we're getting now, we're getting what, 1,100, 1,500 a day. So if all of these pilgrims would like to attend Pilgrim Mass that day, they can't, because there's not enough room. So I wonder if they have actually upped the limit there, but it might be something worth looking into if you get to Santiago now, and if you want to go to Pilgrim Mass, make sure you're early and not come late, because it might be difficult to get a seat. And then another day was a few days later. It was a rainy day. I saw a group of pilgrims coming in. I think these guys looks like they're looking to. But it's good to see people coming into town again after it being such a slow year. So it's good to see that people are coming back. So you may ask, well, with all these numbers going up, should I cancel my trip? Should I not come? I think if you have plans for August or September, I would just hold tight a little bit. I would wait and see, because it goes fast up and then it goes fast, hopefully, crossing my fingers, fast down again too. So by August, I'm hoping that things will look much better. So I would hold off on canceling. I would wait and see what it looks like closer to your departure date. If I were to travel today, I would say, personally, it's a very personal decision, of course. I personally would feel uncomfortable coming to Spain and traveling in general if I wasn't vaccinated, because it is possible to travel into Spain now, I think, with just a PCR test, a negative PCR test. So with the numbers spiking, also spiking in Portugal, I think too. So if you walk in the Portuguese route, it's difficult there too. I would feel uncomfortable traveling and walking now with just the negative PCR test and no vaccine. But if you're vaccinated, I would personally feel comfortable walking if you take all the precautions, of course, and because the virus is still here, it's not gone. Now about Portugal, I mentioned Portugal. I saw an article saying that, and I'm not keeping as well up to date with what's going on in Portugal as I do with Galicia and Spain, but there was a thing in the paper the other day saying that now since the numbers are going up in Portugal too, they are requiring people to have a negative PCR test or a vaccine, proof of vaccination, to stay at hotels in Portugal. I am assuming this also means hostels and albergues. I'm not sure, but that's my assumption. So just so you know that. But I would, if you have any doubts about this, go to the forum and ask. There's a lot of people that are walking right now. There's a lot of people that have just came back from walking. I talked to a lady on Friday that just walked from Porto to Santiago on the coastal, and she was looking for a social experience because she loved the Frances and she loved that whole social aspect of it, and she met 7 pilgrims from Porto to Santiago. So I don't think there's any problem with crowds as it is right now, especially not on that route anyway. So as you can see, more and more pilgrims are coming into town. I think from people that I've talked to, they felt safe with their walk and they felt comfortable walking. We'll just have to see what this latest spike in numbers, what that means, and how fast we can get a control on that and how fast we can get it back down again. So hopefully by September or August, September, we should have a better control of it. Cross my fingers. Anyway, stay safe. Talk to you soon. Ciao.